Ladies and gentlemen, federal workers and injured federal workers, Riverdale Wellness proudly presents to you the Injured Federal Workers Podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody, and how are we today? It's the Injured Federal Workers Podcast, coming to you live from the Riverdale Wellness Studios in Bronx, New York City. Good afternoon, all. So, as I've said from the very beginning, the purpose of this workshop is to educate, entertain, and inform all federal employees what happens on the job when they get hurt. What are the steps that are necessary to go from getting a case from being getting injured to being accepted? So now, here we are. We're here to talk about the case getting accepted, and we're at the stage of what is a CA17. Okay, so what's a CA17? It's called a duty status report. Okay, I'm going to pull up the screen right now so we can be right on top of it and know what's going on. Okay, here we go. I'm sharing. So, the duty status report is, let's just read what they say. This form is provided for the purpose of obtaining a duty status report for the employee named above. What does that mean? Well, let's look in the middle of the page, okay, where it says here activities. Lifting, carrying, sitting, standing, walking, climbing, kneeling, bending, stooping, pushing, etc., etc. There are two sides. There's the supervisor side and the physician side. So, assuming that this is let's just read it. Does the history of the injury given to you by the employee correspond to that shown in item 5? Meaning, your supervisor fills out item 5, and then the doctor fills it out. So, obviously, what I was going to say before was, obviously, you were a continued patient from that doctor, okay? The next one, description of clinical findings. Obviously, that's for the doctor to fill out. Diagnosis due to the injury. They want to connect the dots. Other disability conditions, so if someone has other issues, to put them in. Now we get to what's the duty status report. Was the employee advised to resume work? If yes, what was the date? Or no? Is the employee able to perform regular work as described above on side A? If yes, if so, full-time or part-time, and so forth, with the opportunity to write continuous intermittent. How much bending, lifting, twisting, and turning can they do in terms of pounds and in terms of hours per day? Date of the exam, date of next appointment, their specialty, their tax ID number, the physician's signature and date. By the way, as I said to you from the very beginning, not to use a nurse, here's also why. If you're seeing the nurse and the nurse signs that paperwork, the paperwork becomes invalid and you'll have a problem. So, again, make sure you're always seeing the medical doctor, and this way you don't have to worry if the paperwork is co-signed by the nurse and the MD, okay? I think we all got that by now. I just want to make sure I'm always clear why I've said these things that I've said, so you can do the things that you need to do, so that you have the things that you need to have, okay? So that's the 17. The doctor fills it out and determines whether you can or cannot return to work with what limitations, okay? And that is filled out, as it says here, from 15 to 16, the date of the exam and the date of the next appointment. The doctor should always be putting it in. So if the doctor is seeing you in 4 weeks to follow up, to make sure that you can return to work, and so forth, with limitations or without limitations, that's the form that is used, okay? Physician. Complete side B, sign and return to the employing agency within 2 days to prevent interruption of the employee's income. To prevent interruption of the employee's income. Fill in your name and address. Send the original here to the employing agency address and to workers' comp. Okay? So everyone is on top of it. Okay? So that's a CA17, as it says it on the bottom. let me just say this, that you get these every month. In another workshop, we're going to go into much more detail what is encompassed in the duty status report. That is the duty status report. That has to do with your money. Make sure that's filled out, certainly on a monthly basis, by your medical doctor. I just want to add one more thing before we go to that commercial break, which is the CA17 is your form to be given to the doctor. It is not the doctor's form to start with to give to you. Okay, just remember, it is your form. It is your payroll. It is your responsibility to keep all your appointments. It is your responsibility to make sure that all aspects of your case are going smoothly. We do this workshop so that you learn what you need to know, so that when you go to the doctor, you know what you need to ask for. Let's go to commercial break. And there's one other thing that I want to point out. Let's go to the screen again and see it, okay? Here we go. Here is the CA17 again. Just pay attention when it says date of examination and date of next appointment. That means it is your responsibility to pay attention when you get your 17 on the date you were examined to look at what the next appointment is, so it's done promptly. Again, it is your responsibility to be on top of your appointments and to bring the paperwork in so it can be filled out. Again, you can find this online. Just Google CA17, or you can, I'm sure, ask any office that you go to, the receptionist, to print it up off their computer, off the Department of Labor's website or so forth, and get a copy of the current CA17. Let's go to commercial break and see what's next when we come back.
Are you suffering because you got hurt on the job? Are you struggling to find a doctor who knows how to navigate DOL and OWCP paperwork? Are you aware that when your case gets accepted, you will get reimbursed for all your travel fees? The form that gets filled out is a 957. All you need is a receipt from all your doctors for all your visits that you were there for an appointment. Please call 718-601-1540 to see if we can help you with the medical paperwork and recover from those injuries, as we have 2 decades worth of experience, and check out our Google reviews.
Paul's Weekly Joke. Go.
You know, lately I've been thinking about retiring from the post office.
Surely you can't be serious.
No, I am serious. And please, don't call me Cheryl.
Are you suffering because you got hurt on the job? Are you struggling to find a doctor who knows how to navigate DOL and OWCP paperwork? Are you aware that if your doctor does not fill out a CA17 and CA20, then you won't get paid for your time out of work? Please call 718-601-1540 to see if we can help you with the medical paperwork and recover from those injuries, as we have 2 decades worth of experience. And check out our Google reviews.
We will end today's episode with do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can, by John Wesley. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Best health and love. Show it to everyone. Have a great weekend.